Today, we will begin working on an introduction to informational text. Please write the objective that's shown on the board onto page 2 of your notebooks now. Alright, when looking at informational text, you have to first think about what was the author's purpose for writing this. Now, informational text is any text that you read in order to learn something or in order to get information, hence informational text. Now, the place you're going to be able to identify the author's purpose is by looking at the thesis statement. The thesis statement is usually going to be located about the beginning of your essay or book or pamphlet or whatever you're reading. So look at your thesis statement and think about, what is the author trying to tell me with this statement? Is he trying to inform me of something? Is he trying to persuade me of something? Is our author trying to compare and contrast? Is he trying to give his opinion? Is he trying to summarize? These are just some of the purposes for informational text. When you're looking at informational text, the first thing you're going to want to identify is your thesis. Now, I know a lot of us kind of have some trouble with figuring out exactly what the thesis does and why it's even included in a paper in the first place. Well, here's a little graphic that might help you. You'll notice we have a stick figure. When you're thinking about the thesis is basically the brain or the head of your paper. Now think about this. Your head tells you where you need to go. Your head tells you what to do. Same thing with a thesis statement. It tells you where the paper, book, whatever is going, and it tells you what it's going to do. So when you think of thesis, think of the brain of the paper. Now, another part of an informational text are supporting details. There are two kinds of supporting details. You have the important, the most important, and the less important. Now, both of these types of supporting details are essential for an informational text, but the less important details aren't as important and you can do without them, but in order to have a full piece, you must include the less important details. So when you're thinking about the details, think about, we have our stick figure man again. Your most important supporting details are going to be, your spine and your legs, because your most important details hold up your thesis or your head, and they take your thesis where they're going, like the legs. So you've got your thesis over here. You've got your most important supporting details, okay? The last part of your informational text that we're going to talk about today are going to be your less important supporting details. We're going to go back to our little stick figure man. So we have our thesis at the head. We have our important supporting details at the spine and the legs. And then our arms, those are going to be our less important supporting details. The arms are essential for having a whole stick figure, but they do not throw off the overall picture. You can still tell without arms if I was going to draw a stick figure, but it's not complete without our least supporting details. In your notebooks now on page 2, I need you to open it up and draw yourself a stick figure like the one that I've shown on my chart. I have it also hanging on the board if you're not 100% sure what it looks like. I'm also going to give you a paragraph. This is an informational paragraph. We're going to start out small. And what you guys are going to do now is you are going to take that paragraph and you are going to identify which parts are going to be your head, your back, your legs, and your arms of your stick figure. Whenever I give you some sort of informational text, or if you see informational text on the STAR test, please feel free to use the stick figure in order to figure out what's important, what's not as important. Okay, please do that now.